And they didn't move it. I just haven't used this program so long that I don't remember.
Same difference.
Not really.
Not at all.
Somebody's a bit
and for those of you joining us live right now on our live behind the scenes broadcast, that's Dave.
Hi.
We're getting started in just a second. Now, if you're on this stream, there's no production. There's nothing. It's just us. So congratulations. You are the deepest level of nerds possible, because it doesn't get any worse than this. But all right, I'm about ready to start the Twitch side of things.
Gets better?
Yeah, it does. All right, here we go. Starting Twitch in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome everyone to Gamersledge podcast. Come on in, sit down, relax, have yourself a big glass of nothing because I still forgot to go get to myself something to drink. I'm your host, Mark. We've got a bunch of folks joining us. We'll go through the roll call in a minute. Welcome to episode 236, the state of mobile gaming. As you can see in my MTV style tilted camera right here, it's pretty awesome. But let's get to the entire panel, starting all the way on my far left. Actually, I just switched away and switched back, and something I moved is now across the entire screen like it shouldn't be. That's a bad... What's that?
You mean you switched it?
No. We will not. No, I did not switch it, and we will not switch anything, I think, except Dave, who is fully in love with the Switch. Yeah, let's switch it over to Dave. Hi, Dave.
Good morning.
Do the snapping.
We're supposed to be... Why? What did I miss?
Did you never watch
anything with the Nintendo Switch?
This explains why he rushed out to pre-order it, because he didn't watch it.
No. This is what happened. I fell asleep before they did the big presentation thing.
You didn't miss anything.
That's why I found that out. I was all excited. Yeah, I was all excited because I watched a very condensed, produced recap where they just like went over all the high points, and it was apparently drastically shorter than an hour and a half.
There were high points?
Yeah, question mark.
Yeah. Did you know you could feel 3 separate ice cubes?
I know that's what I've been missing in my gaming, is the ability to feel 3 separate ice cubes in a controller.
Did you know you could play rock, paper, scissors?
And apparently there's a cow milking game.
Yes, there is a cow milking game.
The comments on that
weird.
The comments on that are not too kind, but very very interesting.
And guess what? That's the only game you'll get to play because it's like the only thing that's available at launch.
No, that's not true. Zelda is out at launch.
Zelda and that Binding of Isaac.
Because that's not on every other system ever.
Yeah.
There's some Binding of Isaac game that they're trying to charge $40 for.
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
We'll talk about
that's Nintendo. Come on, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna go over the whole Switch. This is gonna be a big thing. So joining in the condensation.
Condensation. What?
Yes. Joining the condescending next to Dave is Kate.
Hello.
And last but not least, from the other Great White North, also known as Wisconsin, it's Matt.
Howdy.
Turo will be joining us eventually in a couple minutes.
I have 5 different drinks here, so I guess I make up for Mark.
You have 5 different drinks to
Yes.
my none?
To your none. I have a Longbow Golden Apple.
Ooh.
I have or Strongbow rather. I have a Strongbow Ginger Apple.
You can't even talk anymore. I think you should be cut off.
I have coffee, and I have water from a movie cup that I've never seen.
Wait, you've never seen the movie cup, or you've never seen the movie?
No, I've never seen the movie on the cup.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense because I'm like, did it just materialize in front of you?
I've never seen a cup before.
I would not trust a cup I've never seen before with liquid in it.
This newfangled thing, did you put fluid in? I don't understand it.
Oh, so yes, let's go around the room and start as we always do by talking about what we've played or what, in this case, Dave hasn't played, like his PS4, in what, 6 months now since they put that update in?
It was on the night. It wouldn't recognize my controller when I was hitting the start button.
That's how long it's been. Your controller has desynced. That is messed up.
Yeah. I'm fixing that. We're gonna be playing
Final Fantasy.
I
right?
actually felt no.
I don't get why you're not playing World of Final Fantasy.
No, I did play that. That's on the Vita.
Oh.
Okay, but what are you turning it on to play? If you say Trials, I will kill you.
No. I needed to finish up Batman, the last chapter in that.
Okay, that's an actual game.
So that
I'm not the only one now.
Yeah. There's other stuff I actually want to kind of go back and play through. I don't know what yet. I have to kind of look at my shelf and pick something out. And then I also wanted to kind of peruse the store and see if there's stuff I missed. Because apparently, why didn't you guys tell me about that Witness game?
Shut up.
Oh, man.
I hate you. I'm making noise purposely so that the camera pulls away from you.
Apparently that's something in my wheelhouse. So I'm going to check that out.
You should be a little less contrary from time to time, maybe.
Yeah.
So if you've never been turning it on, have you just not been getting your Plus games then either? Do you just not do that, or do you do it from the PC, or?
No, I only missed I don't even think I missed a month. I mean, maybe I missed a month. I don't know. What was last month?
This last month?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That was like a month ago.
Yeah, because it's like Day of the Tentacle still now, so I already had that. And I don't think.
And by now, you mean within the last 15 days?
Yes.
To be fair, I turn on my PS4 a lot more than Dave, and I don't download all the free games.
Yes, but you actually play games.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Dude, I was playing the hell out of my 3DS this week.
Great. What were you playing?
Nothing. He was lying.
I'm playing through. I'm playing WarioWare Mega Games, the GBA.
Really?
Yes.
So.
I would give a
I did state.
Not even kidding.
I did not mention at the beginning of the conversation to come on in and sit down and relax. This is a conversation about the video gaming industry and a look at what it means to be a hardcore gamer. Dave's our other side of the tracks representative, correspondent.
WarioWare is fun.
WarioWare, that's pretty hardcore to actually go back and fight through that.
It is. I'm like, I don't know. Because I transferred all my stuff to my new 3DS. Remember when Nintendo was cool and used to give away a lot of games when you'd buy a new system?
You mean not let you rent a 20 to 30-year-old game for a month?
Yeah. That's See the method to my madness? This all has a point. Because I'm bringing up the ambassador program they had for the 3DS. Do you remember that? If you were an early adopter of the original 3DS, you got put into this ambassador program. And they gave you like 15 games. 15 downloadable games. Some of them I think may have been exclusive. Like you were only able to play them if you were in the ambassador program. And now you're going to like get to play a game for what, 5 minutes? for like $10 a month.
Speaking of WarioWare, for all of Nintendo's like gimmicky bullcrap, I'm really surprised they didn't find a way to bring back like the WarioWare thing, like on the Wii or the Wii U. Like they could have done it.
Exactly. I'm playing this game on there, and I'm going through like in my head like all the the WarioWare games that they had, which were all fun and all really took advantage of the hardware. And let's face it, they're relatively simple. They're not crazy complicated things to put together. How they don't have a WarioWare game as a show-off game for the Switch when it comes out is just beyond me. I don't know what they're doing over there. They need me in charge.
Their entire programming division is working on Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
But we'll get back to Nintendo.
Yeah, we'll get back to Nintendo. All right. Yes.
So not to derail.
Yeah. What else have you been playing, Dave? Besides your one WarioWare game?
Shut up. So Pokemon, still playing that. Moon especially, and I'm going
to derail myself for a minute. Why did you list Sun and Moon as separate entries on your Game of the Year nominations? Were you trying to just pad out the amount of space in there?
They're separate SKUs, dude.
No, there's the same game. It has a separate.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. When you go to the store and you pay your $35, you get both games in one package.
It's the same content minus one creature.
What are you talking about? Minus one creature? There's all kinds of creatures. You can't get it in the one versus the other. That's been the MO of the series since the start, dude.
3 to 5 is not a bunch.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is now?
Oh, that's all it's ever been. I don't even play the games, and I know that much.
Yeah, of course I was just trying to pad it. But the fact remains, if we're going to get technical, they are separate SKUs.
Yeah, they can be separate SKUs all they want. It's just like Sony with their 25 billion combinations of PlayStation 4 SKUs when there's really only 2. It's just this one happens to come with Uncharted packed in, and this one happens to come with Last of Us packed in.
That's hardware versus software. Two totally different things. Hi, I'm orange.
But no, to contrast, if you had done the 3 Fire Emblem Fate games, you could get away with that because they're 3 radically different games.
Exactly. I would have accepted that. That would have been a fine answer. All right, so we have WarioWare and Pokemon Sun/Moon.
And I played through Streets of Rage 2 again.
So you are going to love their new subscription service for the Switch?
Yes, I think so. I think it's clearly aimed at me. Oh, and Dr. Mario.
A new game to Dave is something that's at least 10 years.
No. The Dr. Mario one was new. The Dr. Mario one was new. Shut up. The Dr. Mario one was new. It was a download from the 3DS store a little while ago. That's a new one. You can play as Luigi, Dr. Luigi, with little L pieces. That's a whole new gameplay gimmick.
So you can be not as good a doctor, is what you're saying.
Pretty much, yeah.
Upstairs Hollywood Medical College.
He has Luigi has 2 pieces put together in like little L shape. Oh, I get it now. They're L's for Luigi. I just got that.
What?
So I was wondering why they were just being annoying about it. But
don't teach your son the alphabet, please.
Yeah. No.
Okay. All right. So we have Streets of Rage 2, Dr. Mario,
the new version,
WarioWare. Yeah, the new
the Streets of Rage 2 was the 3D version. Was the 3D remix of it?
WarioWare and Pokemon Sun/Moon. Anything else that you played this week?
I was about to play some PS4 until you rudely interrupted me.
And what pray tell were you going to play on the PS4?
Broforce.
One of your submissions for Game of the Year. Yes, I saw that.
Yes, it's my new Jetpack Joyride.
And you play Batman, so there's that. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
that is true. And I actually like Broforce and consider it to be a fine game.
It is. It's hilarious. It cracks me up. I love the game.
Kate, how about you? What did you play this week? Unless there's anything else, Dave.
No.
Okay.
Unless you want to count reading comics.
When did you start reading comics?
When did you recently restart reading comics? Let's be more accurate.
Yes.
I mean, I don't like get like new stuff every week, like, you know, from pulls or anything, but I usually have a steady stream of stuff I, you know, have on backlog. I'm checking out that that old French comic. I can't remember the name of it now. They're making a Luc Besson movie of it.
Oh, the
help me out here.
Oh my God, it's the weirdly titled sci-fi one.
Yes. You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yes, it's like Luke Vanderbilt and the cosmonaut.
Yeah,
something.
Planet
like
of 1,000 Cities. I can't think of the.
Yes. That's like
yes.
And it's like so I got the first couple volumes of that to check that out. So I just have a basic idea of the storyline going into it. I'll see it anyway because it just looks like, you know, a Fifth Element-ish kind of thing, you know, which I always love.
You know, that's because the writer of the show co-wrote the whole thing with Luc Besson, right?
Yeah. So
they're like best friends or something.
Yeah, so it's like you know, I'm gonna love this movie, but I just want a little background on it, you know, just to see, like, you know, a general idea of the story. And
Valerian.
Valerian?
Yes.
Yeah.
Valerian and the City of
Planet of 1,000 Cities.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Transmetropolitan. I started reading that.
Wow.
Which is another old one, but that is fantastic, and I'm actually mad at myself for not picking it up earlier. Ian is dead right about that. There's a reason why he keeps posting pictures of that thing over and 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 over again in his feed, because it's justified
and ancient. Kate, how about you?
Nice. I got that reference.
I went back to World of Final Fantasy because I hadn't beaten it, and I wanted to beat it before Resident Evil 7 comes out. So went back and I got the bad ending. So right now I'm working towards the good ending.
Without getting into spoilers, is that avoidable?
No.
So you have to get the bad ending first and then play through again. Okay.
Yes. And played some DOA X3 to get the trophies on my North American account. Still working through that. I don't think I played it. I don't know if I played much else. No, I spent a lot of time playing World of Final Fantasy. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
So is it a new game plus type thing? So you don't have to start over completely, or do you have to start over completely?
You don't start over completely. You finish the game and go through an abbreviated credits, and it will prompt you to save the game. And then you start it up again, and it won't even let you load the game. It will just give you the option to go into second ending, I will call it.
Zelda Link with the sword.
You don't have to start over again.
Okay.
But you could go back and do other end game things that you might have skipped. Once you restart, you're not on a linear path to go complete the good ending. You can go back and explore the world and level up and catch more mirages and do all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Cool. Turo, how about you? Since he snuck in here.
Yeah.
Your mic's not down.
I know, but you're going to have to.
Oh, right.
Or is that not possible?
That's not possible.
We can hear you just fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just a bunch of mobile stuff. Clash Royale, Classic Clans. There's a new game I actually started playing. The Clash Royale-ish Star Wars game, Force Arena. Yeah, I actually started playing that. Kind of plays like it, except for your main hero you can control. So you can go this way or that way. And instead of towers, they're turrets. And I've already fought people that put a lot of money into it, and they go straight to the main tower or turret and destroy it. They're just bam, 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 bam. And then they come back after 10 seconds, and then they just do that all over again. And I'm dead because they have so so much experience. There's so much gems. They're crystals. I think they're lightsaber crystals. In this game, that's the currency, which is cool. So I've been playing those, and like I said, Castle Crashers came out like a remastered version, and I started playing that again. And that's it. Catching up on shows. Finished a series of unfortunate events in a day.
You should come over here because it's just showing me because you're coming through my speaker.
Okay, fine. I do. Hi.
Hi.
So, Clash Royale, Clash of Clans. Ding-a-ding. Series of unfortunate events. Go watch that now. Like if you haven't already. So good. It reminds me of Princess Bride. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it has a very. It's the dialogue is so literal, and playfully. You know how the fight scenes were so kind. Yeah, it's that. Except for it's in a show and it's awesome and it keeps going. It's so good. Yeah, I did a big. I got a big feel of Princess Bride in that. Let's see what else. Bing, 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 bing. Started watching Emerald City. That makes me feel weird. That's it.
How about you?
Oh.
Yeah, he keeps killing trees, even though we live in the digital age.
If I ever get that up so I have a second monitor, because my phone makes a crappy second monitor, but I haven't yet. Kill trees. Final Fantasy 15, still in chapter 3.
Oh my god.
Me too. Me too. Still in chapter 3.
Those are the worst.
I've gone to see the sister now, because that unlocked a bunch of more side quests, so I haven't gone to the waterfall.
What level are you?
This is the stage before you become me. I'm just letting you know, guys.
What level are you, though?
38.
And I'm 46.
Still unexcusable. I was like past there
when I get to like level 65 or so, then I'll probably move on.
Although if I don't hurry up, I'm gonna keep on accidentally seeing chunks of it as the boys are playing, and they're significantly ahead of me. So I saw naughty bits on a thing that I didn't want to see yet, but that happened. Lots of Rock Band 4. Or did I
okay, let's talk about it now.
Yeah, let's put it to the end of the list then. Let's move it to the end of the list. Something else we can complain about: Diablo 3.
Oh my God! Yes, thank you for reminding me. I'm glad I reminded you to bring this up.
That was a game I was actually going to fire up because you were talking about going back to the Diablo 1 thing for the special event, and I was like, yeah, I have that. Let me go back and try that out. That sounds really fun and really cool. And then you guys ruined that, and I don't even try that now.
No, we didn't ruin it. They ruined it. It's horrible. It's Diablo 3 with a video filter on it to make it look like it's Diablo 1, except it doesn't. It looks like Diablo 3 with a crappy video filter on it. And they have just a couple of the main boss characters from Diablo 1. And you can get skins for your weapons that make it look like the Butcher's Cleaver or whatever. The only really good thing about it is that you get to play Diablo 3 with the Diablo 1 music in the background the entire time. And I really appreciate how good that Diablo 1 soundtrack is now that we don't have it. If that makes sense. Now, Matt, you played with a level 1 brand new character, right?
Well, it was level 7 because it took me a while to figure out how to give up and look up how to get into the stupid thing. But yeah, I was a low level character.
Yeah, and I went in with my max level character, which is like 1500 prestige level, etc. So I can't even create a new character to play it the way that they recommended, because there's no way to not take the prestige levels when you start a new character. So regardless, I tore through it very quickly. That's the best way to say it.
Whereas I found it rather mind-bendingly difficult.
Yeah.
Like, what? This is ridiculous. And I took a demon hunter too into it, so I think that even made it worse. So yeah, that was not a good experience. The Diablo 1 attempt of something, crappy video filter that just kind of hurt my eyes, and yeah.
I'm suddenly thinking of press start. It burns.
Let's see. I think I played some Overwatch. I put a question mark next to it because it was fairly far up on my list, but I don't remember playing it. So
it was last Thursday.
Was it Thursday? Okay. Drawful 2.
It was after the Switch event. Remember, we were so dejected that
that's right.
And then we logged on and played Overwatch.
That's right. Then Drawful 2, which you did on Friday. I keep playing Azken 2, which is one of the free games from this month. It's not a Connect 3, but it's the one where you like connect all the ones that are touching. So you like trace a line out, and it's got kind of a puzzle mode-y thing. And it's, one of those things like I do Adventure Capitalist. When I don't have much time, but I feel like playing something anyway, I throw that up there. Adventure Capitalist, because for some reason, I'm obsessing about getting the trophies for that thing.
You do know that it's on your phone, right?
I do, but I don't play games on my phone. Ha! We'll get to that in our discussion topic.
He can't get trophies on his phone, can he?
Exactly.
No, he can't. And that's fine, but my point is if he's looking for something on the go to kill like a minute or 3.
This is when I'm at home and I don't have enough time to fire up Final Fantasy. I fire up something like that instead. So instead of doing it on my phone, I do it on my PS4. I did download Force Arena and played through the tutorial and one fight, and I haven't picked it back up since. And then I started watching Shadowhunters Season 2, which they fixed the Angel Blades with absolutely no explanation. All of a sudden, Season 2 Angel Blades are like they describe them in the book instead of like Season 1's Angel Blades.
Oh, good. Well, I still am only on episode 3, and it seemed like that was going really fast.
So I've never read the books, so I'd have to ask Mitchell where we are in comparison to the books. But it sounds like certain events happened way earlier in the TV series than they happened in the book series. So I think that's part of what makes it feel like it's going faster is certain events happened before they were supposed to. So I think I'm ready to give up on Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow doesn't even take place in Sleepy Hollow anymore.
I gave up on that show on the 3rd episode. First season.
Well, this season or last season?
He said season 1.
Oh, season 1? Oh, okay. Well,
episode 3, I gave up.
I stuck through it to season 1. I actually like season 2. Season 3 was a sludge, and I think I'm ready finally to give it up. I like not Tom Holland. Dang it, what's his name? But I don't like him that much. I watched a bunch of Disney shows with my daughter one night because it was just her and I home, and we needed to clean up the DVR. So if anyone wants to know what the state of Liv and Maddie, handful of other Disney shows is, I can let you know.
Bad for you.
Yeah, this is a show about hardcore gamers, Matt. I'm just kidding.
You got to be pretty hardcore to sit through that. So
you do have to be, or insane, one of the two. I'm sorry.
I fit both. So Rebel tomorrow, started this season of Flash finally. And Incorporated is my current favorite show that's on right now.
Wait, are you DVRing Flash, or is it up on Netflix finally?
It's DVRing the horrible HD thing that it does, which I can go into later at some point in time if anybody wants. But no, it's DVR'd off of the TV. So yeah, that won't show up until the season's done, and they just got off of mid-season break, so it's going to be a bit yet still. And then, okay, now we'll go back to the thing I said we'll put at the bottom of the list. Rock Band 4. Lots and lots and lots of Rock Band 4. I had like over 25,000 XP this week just to keep us afloat. That's just me by myself.
And I know I suck. I'm sorry. I haven't played. Yeah. I'm actually officially converting Thursdays to Treble Tone Thursdays so that I can help keep us afloat.
But yeah, that's the thing right now is I don't know to get from platinum to the next level is like a quantum leap. You have to like have a dedicated effort to get to diamond. It's rough.
Oh boy.
But the to keep us up, if we have, I mean, the kids all contributed. The random guy that joined us, Patral, he contributed quite a bit. He's doing all our guitar and bass scores on the Spotlight showcase. Spotlight songs. And then I booted a couple other people that haven't played since I added them, so I just booted them from the thing. But yeah, so I mean, overall, still fun. They are a little insidious. One of the Spotlight songs has been a DLC song for the last like 4 weeks, so little insidious there. What are you? Are you beating a Furby to death over there?
No, it's Ziggy. Sorry.
But yeah, overall, it's going okay. I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun with it still. I level capped this week, so I'm level 50 now. So I level capped. Still reaching for that elusive 1,000 skill score in vocals. That's ridiculous. But yeah. So now you want to talk about the thing that sucks, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's preface it by saying that we have played Rock Band since the original Rock Band. And it was Rock Band 2 or 3 that first let us do online. I think it was 2.
1. Well, no, 1 had online. It was only quick play, basically online. 2 was the first time we could do band mode.
Right. So we could do full band online, multiple people per console, getting online, playing the game together. 3, exactly the same. No problem. 4 came out, and they said, hey, all your stuff from 3 is going to work. And by the way, we don't have multiplayer now, but it will come in a year at Christmas time. And it got delayed until this month. And it's getting close to midway through the month. And so everybody's like, what's going on? And they posted a thing. Was it yesterday or the day before, Matt?
It was yesterday.
Okay. And it basically said, hey, multiplayer is coming. And oh yeah, 1 instrument per console. And you can't do any band stuff. You can only do quick play. It is mind-boggling to me that they have taken 17 steps backwards from what they used to be able to do. I don't know if it's a loss of talent or some other developing team did the online play component or aspect, but this is I'm very, very upset about this because I have been waiting to do band mode with Matt so that we could actually do Rivals together. We can't do that. We can't do anything other than this. And I wouldn't be as upset about it if they didn't make us invest $30 for a new version of the game just a month and a half ago. If they had not, or I'm sorry, 2 months ago. But still, if they had not done that, because they said the only way you're going to get online play is to upgrade to Rivals. And so Matt paid $30, I paid $30, a bunch of other people paid $30, and we're not actually getting online mode. We're getting online quick play with 1 instrument per console. So you can't even have, like, if Turo wants to play guitar and I want to sing vocals and Matt's going to play the drums, we can't even do that. It's 1 person per console, which is ridiculous to me.
Yeah, there's a couple of things there. I'm fairly certain, and based on stuff we saw, other thing people are hypothesizing the same thing is when they had full regular online mode, they had EA. So pretty much a given at this point that EA wrote all their netcode. It must have been. They hosted the servers. They wrote the netcode. They wrote the online multiplayer game. and that all that skill set must have they're no longer there because they're no longer associated with EA.
But there's a implicit level of trust that when you tell people we will have online, that you are getting them to buy into the idea that they are going to have a full and robust online system.
Right.
Not this.
That's where I'm in agreement with you. This, hey, we're a week out, and at the end of the blog post of some new guy who's now their community manager who nobody knows or likes or whatever, and oh, by the way, you can only have one instrument per console. That was a pretty crappy way to do it. I mean, if they had at least told people going into it, nobody would have been happy, but it would have been known, right? This is kind of the slide it in under the door kind of approach, and that was pretty crappy. It's not a good situation. A lot of people seem to be upset about the matchmaking aspect. I guess I never really thought about that because I would have never used matchmaking, but that seems to have a lot of people in an uproar. It has to be either in your crew list or in your friends list. But the people in your crew list don't have to be in your friend list because that's important, I guess. So
it's a lot of strange choices to make. You would have thought people you would have thought that they would have been upfront about this, I don't know, 6 months before, but it feels like they purposely withheld this information just to make sure that they got the Rock Band Rivals upgrade money out of everyone. And I think that's really shady and not the way that they have operated in the past when they were well-funded. It's very, quite frankly, it's very disappointing to me. I don't know. I am like this far from not playing Rock Band 4 anymore and just pulling out my Rock Band 3 on my PS3 and just use that as a dedicated Rock Band 3 box. And I will go find the friggin' Rock Band 3 instruments on Craigslist somewhere since I don't have any that are compatible with that machine anymore. But it's ridiculous. It's like we've taken not 3, not 5, not 7, but like 12 steps backwards through the series since they took ownership of it. And that's really disappointing me.
Yeah, you would have think if you watch that video, I don't know if you watched the video that was in that blog post or not, but it's basically 3 different programmers / engineers and all saying online gaming is hard to code for. And then one project manager trying to make, poop smell like roses.
At other jobs, those people would be fired.
Yeah,
I hate to say it like that, but that's, if you went to your boss and said, my job is hard, I'm sorry, you're fired. That's it. That's not, it's ridiculous. That's not something that gamers should accept as an answer. And I did watch that video. That's why I was hoping you would bring it up. I don't know in what mind space anyone who is responsible for public relations for that company would have let that video get
I don't know. At this point, it's just like I assume it has to just be desperation for damage control at this point. Somebody's in a tailspin over there, and
or they just don't care.
Well,
which is very possible.
That's possible. I doubt it because they need something to succeed because nothing that they've put out since they've split off has really succeeded very well. So I would have really thought that they would have, if they had realized at some point that they did not have the skill set to do this, that they would have found a way to get somebody in there to help lead it, or at least just been upfront about it and said, you know what, we thought we had this. What we've got sucks, and we don't want to give you something that sucks. And while it sucks that we're not giving you anything, we don't want to give you something that sucks. So we're hiring on more talent, blah, 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 whatever. I mean, that's another way they could have handled this, but that's not the way they handled it.
And I think gamers are the poorer for it. It's very, very frustrating. It will be interesting to see what happens with this company next, because if they keep going down this track. There will be a lot of buyer, not remorse. Well, I mean, I have buyer's remorse, but there will be a lot of goodwill fleeting from their stable.
And they started well with Rivals because Rocky Drama is fun and Rivals stuff is actually fun. So, I mean, they started well with it. This is just a major veer off. And, you know, they did try to cage it early on that this was a more limited online player than what had existed in the past, but they woefully undersold that point.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know. I'm just, it will be interesting to watch to see how this develops out, how the community responds. I actually...
Or isn't developed, as it were.
Right. Well, the funny part is that I went to go on the Rockman forums that I had used for years and years. It was the Rockman 3 forums. They're gone. So I don't know. I did not see any real threads. Reddit seemed to be where most people were being the most active and vocal about how they felt about it, good, bad, or otherwise. So it's very interesting. We'll see if they do anything, but I doubt it.
I looked, no Harmonix employee had responded to either anything on the Facebook thread or the Reddit thread that I looked at. So yes, yeah. I actually looked at Reddit. That's how interesting this is to me. And God, welcome to 1992 format. Jiminy crickets, that thing is a bear to navigate.
Oh, you just sold Dave.
So Dave, 1992, Dave, you'll love
it. Dude, I've been on Reddit. I'm on Reddit every day. So
yeah, see,
seriously,
point made.
Yeah.
I don't understand, Matt. I do not understand how you're not on Reddit. It has everything.
Yeah,
because its format is horrible.
I don't even understand how you could say that. Like, it's extremely straightforward.
Oh, okay. Well, you watch me fumble through Reddit the next time I try to go through there, and you tell me how effing intuitive this bull crap is.
It's good. It's a collection of links for the most. Yeah. Like, that's really
well. Yeah, when I can't tell, you grew with it. You're the bane of Reddit. You were molded by it. You were formed by it. So you inherently understand it. To anyone who's going in there now, it looks like a friggin' bulletin board from Prodigy. I mean, it's
no. You're talking somebody who used Prodigy.
Yeah,
it is not that bad. First off,
I hardly ever use Reddit.
Dang near that bad.
I hardly ever use Reddit, and I don't have a problem with it. I think it's just you being old and obtuse.
I am not being obtuse. I am literally, I can't say flummoxed, but it takes me far too long to figure out how to do what I want to do and how to get where I want to go in it.
You just type in the search bar what you're looking for, and it takes you right there.
That's Google. That's what I have Google for. I don't want Reddit for that.
You point and click.
But Reddit is self-contained.
Okay, yes, but if I point and click on 4 things that look exactly the same, they do 12 different things.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Sometimes they're links, sometimes they're pictures, sometimes they're posts, sometimes they're, and there's nothing as convenient as an actual thread of conversation. You've got to find the little link over here that links you to this link that then links. It's ridiculous. It is horribly obtuse.
Thread. I'm so confused.
Okay, any other discussion forums like ever in existence, you have a main post with a bunch of responses to it. Everything in a list on a Reddit page, that every Reddit page I've gone to is something different and is not necessarily
the Reddit page is the thread.
Sort of.
Wait, yeah.
No, it is.
No, but then every sub thing has its own comments thread.
Yeah,
and that's sometimes that's where the real meat is, and sometimes the meat's in the. It's not. It's unnecessary, convoluted. It really is.
You don't like it because you can't expand each sub thread or each post to see all the stuff underneath it. You would like it embedded in a way that you could hierarchically go down rather than clicking on each topic listing to see the the comments for each topic.
I think that would be a heck of a lot more intuitive. Yes.
I don't disagree with that. But I don't think it's unusable the way it is.
I didn't say unusable. I said unwieldy. I may have said unusable at some point.
All right, for me. So we've got Rock Band. We've got that leaves us with just one last thing that we have to talk about before I talk about my games, and that is the Switch. So Matt and I did the live stream for the Switch announcement last week, in which they told us nothing but the date and the price. The date, March 3rd, the price $299. We did not know anything about extra controllers. We didn't know anything about memory cards.
And whenever you say Switch, you have to
yes. We did find all that out the next day. The systems.
Rich. Anyone who's buying the Switch, I hope you're rich. All the peripherals, have you looked at the prices of all that stuff?
Yeah, but only Zelda's coming out, so you don't need to buy anything extra.
Well, no, if you lose one of the little controller dudes, they're like $50.
No, $70.
No, that's for the the controller like this. But if you lose one of the side guys,
$70 for a pair of them.
Yeah, that's like $50 for one.
Oh, you can buy them individually?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, I didn't see that. Because it's a $70 for the red blue pair things.
Yeah,
the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, you can buy one. But yeah, and like an extra dock or any of the stuff that is going to break on that system, you pretty much need to buy it's like buying a whole new system because it's ridiculously expensive.
Is that? Oh, that is $70 for the Pro controller, and a single Joy-Con is $50. Yep. You are absolutely right. That is ridiculous. So just an FYI, and this is an important thing that I found out, I think yesterday or the day before. There is the grip controller that comes in the Switch that you attach the Joy-Cons to on the side and can grip it. That does not charge your Joy-Cons. So as an FYI, they sell a charging Joy-Con grip controller for $30 separately, but the one that comes with the Switch will not charge the things.
Which is stupid.
Which is how Nintendo plans to make their money. Because I was like, wow, they actually have an AC adapter packed in. Good on Nintendo. And then it turns out,
they don't even pack in AC adapters for 3DSs anymore.
Which is dumb.
Which is insane.
Insanely dumb. Yes. So yeah, that's so we found out those things the next day. We also found out that it will support up to 2 terabyte micro SD cards. I don't remember the full acronym. Anyways, micro SD cards basically, which aren't even on sale yet.
Yeah,
and are insanely expensive.
Yeah.
I think if you want a 512, I think it was like $150. No, 256 gigs was $150 for that. And they don't even make the 2 terabyte them when they get there, which does us no good because we still don't even know at this point whether or not you can copy game carts to the memory card.
And I don't think the 2 games that are coming out at launch are 2 terabytes.
I don't know about Zelda.
3
that one could be meaty.
3 gig install on the Wii U at least.
Yeah, see, and if that's this stuff makes no sense to me whatsoever as to Nintendo, in a nutshell, has not given people enough information with enough time to make an informed buying decision. If you watched the stream, Matt and I both gave the press conference probably the worst scores we've ever given a press conference. What'd you give it, a 6, Matt?
5.
Oh, you gave it a 5, and I gave it I gave it a 4. I was. It was highly produced. It was interesting to a point because it was very weird.
The third-party part was painful.
That's true.
We're gonna have third-party support. Here's a guy to talk about some abstract thing that might never happen. Okay, see you later.
Ice
cubes.
Let's talk about the translator. That was the worst translator in the history of press conferences.
Translators. There were multiple.
No. But that one guy, it was always that one guy that was the worst.
I heard that was hilarious.
It was painful. It was painful. And apparently Suda51 like freestyled his stuff, but he freestyled his whole speech. But
and the guy was just like, games.
Yeah. That was it. He was like, and he was the most unenthusiastic translator ever. He was like, games will be delivered. Travis touchdown. Maybe. Thank you.
You know what else was really painful?
Splatoon 2!
The Splatoon guy with his Splatoon guns and his lab coat.
Pretending that Splatoon was like a real thing.
Yes, he was the head Splatoon researcher or something along those lines. It was, you know what? I can let that pass. That's just gimmicky, whatever. I've watched enough professional wrestling that I'm all right with those types of deliveries. That's fine by me. That did not offend me. A little weird, yes, but it didn't offend me. It was fine. But man, there were just so many weird things in that event. Like when the guy laid down on the couch in the most awkward position ever with his two Joy-Cons, like he was having fun. And I'm like, what are you doing? It is weird. Stop it. It was a train wreck of a press conference.
Or watching people play ARMS, where they were just like trying to make it look fun.
It was interesting. I applaud the hardware in the Joy-Cons. I think it's a cool idea until somebody loses one, which is bound to happen.
Guys, hold on. Can we talk for a second, seriously? Losing one? What are you doing with these things? What are you doing with your controllers?
Children are stupid.
I don't know.
Okay, I don't want to say that, but I would agree with that. Children are careless.
A serious problem with the Wii. The Wii controllers were the same. Were about the same size and everything. Was everybody?
No, they are not. Are you high? Are you
high? When it showed it, you have to remember
like a third of the size.
You have to remember when it showed the guy who's holding it. This is a Japanese man. They have small hands.
Yes, these are dinky things. Now,
put up your big. It's like a 6.5-inch screen. So put up your cell phone, and just think of two things on the side of your cell phone.
Literally, it's going to be the size of my phone. They're tiny.
They're tiny.
Now, having said that, if kids are losing them, the parents are doing something wrong, because my kids would all know that they would be killed if they lost something like that. But,
Weebs could eat one.
This is true. That's probably a bigger threat.
Oh, yeah, a dog chewing it? That will totally happen.
Yep.
And then you have to spend $50 to replace it.
It's crazy. Pizza Man says, is Dave high on nuts? I don't know what that means, but...
Kids in their vernacular, I swear.
Yeah.
On the plus side, they did give us a date. They did give us a price point.
Those are the only positives that come out of the press conference.
And we got to see a really cool Legend of Zelda trailer.
Yeah,
Zelda doesn't look cool enough for me to want to get one, but actually Mario looked pretty cool too.
No, Mario was horrifying. Are you kidding?
Oh, no.
No, yes, it looked fun, and I'm all about a Mario 64 kind of thing, but Mario is a freaking person. Don't show me people that don't look like Mario.
Exactly. This has got to be a different universe. Hold on, I'm going over there.
I'm a little concerned about the fact that...
Turo wants to chime in on
All right. This is my theory. We were talking about this earlier. It has to be a different universe, because we don't got buildings like that in any Mario game. Then it goes to a Mario game universe, and he has to ride the hat ship thing. So maybe that's his TARDIS that goes to different dimensions, and one of them is an alternate reality or our reality that's ruled by Donkey Kong.
But the problem is he's from Donkey Kong.
But that's the alternate Donkey Kong. Exactly. Like Donkey Kong in that world is probably Donald Trump. And
I thought it looked fun, but not fun enough for me to buy a Switch.
I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah, okay. It's just I've seen so many mods on GTA 5 where it's that. You can play as Mario in GTA, and it's that. There it is. They already came out with Odyssey in a mod.
What's that?
They even show any other games? There was 1-2 Switch, Mario, Zelda, ARMS. Did they even show anything else?
Well,
Splatoon.
Splatoon 2
Splatoon, yeah.
was the only other one that actually has
They
a
showed
release.
screens of Skyrim, but I don't know if they were.
Well, they didn't give an announced window or a launch, when it's going to be released.
And when you can get that guy to be not excited about something, then you know you're.
Yeah, they were like,
doing
"Hey,
something
I'm
weird."
the guy from Bethesda. I'm trapped in here and have to say something about the Switch."
Blink twice. Call it.
All right. Well, that was it. Is that
and the
on
thing
Odyssey, if they had like actual Mario levels, yeah, cool. That's awesome. But it looks like they try to mix Sunshine kind of without the Mario Sunshine feel. It was just a city, real.
I think the fact that your hat is alive and you're using it as a weapon and a jumping platform is kind of cruel.
Yeah, like how long was your hat alive? Has your hat been alive this whole time?
Or is the hat really Mario and the body is just the possessed person that?
This is getting way too deep.
Because in the new Mario Brothers on the 3DS, if you got all the stars, you could play as Mario without the hat. Or does that mean he's free? Oh,
he's going home. He's running free.
Skyrim, and you were also mentioning earlier Binding of Isaac. So, okay, why would you want to play a 10-year-old game like Skyrim on your cell phone with a 2-hour battery life?
So
that's how long it's going to be for a game like Skyrim, not even 2 hours.
I'm actually sad that you weren't there for the pre-show, Kate, because Matt and I were discussing this beforehand. We were slightly optimistic that Nintendo was going to take a more adult, not in a bound chicka wow wow way, but adult in, trying to be the hip, trendy games for mature people, as opposed to keep the 3DS line alive as the, for lack of a better phrase, family-oriented platform, and have the Switch be something for the hardcore gamers that uses Nintendo products. I'm not saying that they needed to evolve Mario or make it darker or anything like that, but have.
It seems like that's. Remember when they first showed the Switch in that video, and they had all these cool hipster kids chucking each other onto each other's rooftops. It seems like that's what they wanted to do, and then it was just like, oh, it's just the same Nintendo crap.
Yeah, and it was within the first 5 minutes, Matt, we had 2 games already shown to us that were like, nope, they're not going that direction at all. So
well, 1-2 Switch is total shovelware, so.
Well, I just can't believe
I need controllers to play rock paper scissors with my friends. Let me spend $300 so I can play rock paper scissors.
It's a game where you don't even need to look at the game system you just invested in.
And how uncomfortably long was that quick draw thing that went on that was the lead-in into the 1-2 Switch? That was longer than the entire 1-2 Switch commercial should have been.
Yeah, I agree. It's rather strange. So the whole thing to me strikes as disjointed, almost rushed, definitely.
It's like they spent more time trying to figure out how they were going to do that snapping fingers thing than on how we're going to do the presentation.
And all of the Snap lives, I figured out later, were they were lip syncing or finger syncing their snaps because it was a sound effect because one guy missed snapping once and the sound effect still went off.
No, why?
So Dave, we should give Dave the floor for one last, and since he has one pre-ordered and he's going to love it, he is determined that he's going to love it. He already knows all the love or the reasons he will love it. We should let Dave have the final thought.
I think it's, you buy Nintendo systems to play Nintendo games. It's simple as that. Nobody's sitting there going, "Oh, thank God Skyrim's going to be on it," because that's what I've been waiting for.
But there are no games, Dave. They've done nothing to address the drought of the Wii U coming into the Switch development cycle. 2 games, Dave.
Hi, Mr. New person to any Nintendo launch ever. Do you remember how many? No. Stop right there.
Because all those other platforms had backwards compatibility at the time, so you had a built-in catalog of games to tide you over until the new software was released. This has none of that. It does not play Wii U games. It does not play 3DS games. You're going to have 2 games launch day. 2. And the next one comes that month, and the next one after that does not come until summer. And the only other one we know of for sure is Mario coming this holiday. So that's a total of 4 games within a year that are confirmed.
So yeah, it's like every other Nintendo launch.
Except that there's no backwards compatible library to tide you over.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting the GameCube had so much backwards compatibility when I got that. Oh wait, it didn't.
Even the GameCube's launch wasn't this barren.
It was pretty barren, dude.
There were at least half a dozen titles at launch.
Yeah, there were half a dozen titles.
Not saying they were good,
at
but
launch.
At least the titles.
Yeah, but you had them at launch as opposed
more than
to
2.
Yeah, there's more than 2.
There wasn't a Zelda at launch. I'll tell you that right now.
No,
there was FIFA Soccer 64, Pilot Wings 64, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, Super Mario 64, Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Wait.
No, wait.
Wrong system, dude.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
The 64s at the end of all the
Yeah. I know that.
It's like you went a little GameCube there.
Sorry, yeah, I went a little.
I was like,
wait a minute.
Road 2.
Hold it up. Hold on. Here it is.
You were so serious.
Okay, launch games. You had Luigi's Mansion, Super Monkey Ball, Wave Race.
All right, Super Monkey Ball.
All-Star Baseball, Batman Vengeance, Crazy Taxi, Dave Mirra Freestyle, Disney's Tarzan Untamed, Madden NFL 2002, NHL Hits 2002, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue Leader.
All right, Rogue Squadron was good.
Tony
that
Hawk,
was a good launch game.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. That was the launch lineup. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 titles at launch.
How dare you count Dave Mirra as a real game?
How dare you count 1-2 Switch as a real game?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's -1 from the Switch launch right there.
I wasn't. That should be a pack-in.
That was probably the first sign that things were not going to go well, was when we found out that was a separate title and it wasn't a pack-in with the system.
The fact that that's not a pack-in, the fact that there isn't a pack-in, I'm thinking there's time for that to change.
See, this is my main argument, Dave, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it in reality.
Something? You're right. I'm going to cancel my pre-order for the Switch so no one talks about it on the podcast. You convinced me.
Okay, but this is my main point, that I don't understand what Nintendo is doing.
I'm going to hold all my opinions to myself when I get it.
No. I want to know.
The size of the things
asking
in your
for
giant
your
hand.
I'm asking for your opinion on why they are doing this. Why do they say they are not competing with Sony and Microsoft? They're not competing with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One when the price point of entering the system for most average families is the same or be above. You're talking $300 for the system, $70 for an extra controller, an online service payment, of which we don't know what that.
I agree. The thing is, $50 too expensive.
Don't forget the charger.
Right, a grip charger, and then
I think it's $50 too expensive right off the bat.
Yeah, I agree.
That system should have not been more than $250.
Yeah,
and then $250 is is your day one tax. Like, there's nothing in there that should cost more than that.
I'm concerned about what their online service is going to be like. I have a feeling it's going to be like a total fiasco, but you'll still need it. Like, you need it like Xbox and PSN.
Oh no, it's completely optional.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's done through your phone.
You can't even get on Nintendo's website right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
like I've been trying to like log in because like I saw something. I totally forget why I wanted to log in, but it said like log in with your Nintendo account and like do something. And I set one up on for my 3DS, and I went to log in, and it's saying like I type in my username for the Nintendo account. You click the button where it says log in with your Nintendo account. And when I do that, it says, this email address has already been used. You have to use a different email address to sign up for your account. I'm like, I'm trying to log in, not sign up. I didn't type in an email address. and then they got DDoSed right after that. So I was pretty happy about that. Which Matt actually witnessed.
So Kate, if you've not heard how they're going to do this, which I think is actually also incredibly interesting, we have said for years now that Nintendo does not understand online services. And I was with you. I was very interested to see what they would do this time. They pretty much have said through their strategy, we do not understand online services. You're going to get an app for your phone. Well, maybe. You're going to get an app for your phone, and all chat is going to be done, like voice chat and stuff, is going to be done through your phone, not through the actual system itself.
Wait, what?
Yes. That's how they're doing it. So you will download a Nintendo Switch app, and that is where you will do your matchmaking, your gathering of a party or whatever, and any voice chat is all done through your phone. So Nintendo is making you use your phone data if you're out and about to service their online chat.
Oh, so yeah, use our portable system and your own data.
Your own smart device. That's the way they phrase it in there. But yes, that is like one of the most devious things I've ever done. And I am actually wondering if internet service providers will throttle the speeds of that service in some way. Because, places like Netflix have to pay large internet service providers in order to get preferential treatment.
Yeah, just online gaming is not the same as streaming HD video nonstop. I mean, come on.
It would have made more sense if Nintendo had just made the Switch a phone app and just made phone games. Just saying.
Well, I think that's a perfect segue into our topic of the night, which is the state of mobile gaming. Because we have now been a couple months or a month or so since Super Mario Run debuted. And I don't necessarily disagree with you, Kate. I think
and the thing is, Japan is all about mobile games. They don't play consoles anymore.
But Japan is the only place that's really like that. So I mean, America's still, the consoles are still strong. Europe console sales are still strong.
But yeah, I totally get that. But Nintendo is so Japan centric that it's still just like,
I don't disagree with you. I think they would be very smart to actually give people what they want, which is a real Super Mario Brothers game on a mobile device, or a Metroid on a mobile device. But I guess the short question I have is, let's say, just in a hypothetical, the Switch sells well at launch and then drops off. and it has a Wii U like run.
Well, no. Okay.
Is it the end of Nintendo making hardware?
No, because what's going to happen is Nintendo is doing the exact same thing they did with the Wii and all that stuff. They're creating a false shortage.
Mm-hmm.
So it raises demand. Like, they're already sold out of pre-orders because they purposely don't make enough to fill pre-orders. And then you have to wait forever in order to get everything. So, they do that every time. And by the time the second run comes along, no one buys it.
I can save everybody the trouble and fast forward here. So if and when the Switch fails, they're going to do a new iteration of it. Well, they'll basically tweak all the things that are messed up with it. Not call it the Switch 2. It'll be called the Return of the Game Boy. People will buy it by the billions.
No, because if that was the case, they would have gone to that well already. Nintendo does not make sense. Nintendo doesn't. They print money for a while, if they
get smacked 2 consoles in a row where they don't make money, the Game Boy's coming back. Trust me.
But even the 3DS is not selling like their previous handhelds used to. And so how do you combat that? By bringing back the name Game Boy.
Because people love the name Game Boy.
But I don't think, unless they change their ways, I don't think there will be a difference. If they launch a new Game Boy with a dearth of titles, when there's no titles to be had at the launch, then it's still going to be the same problem for them. Don't you think?
Yeah. But if they fail like at this one, obviously their programmers are going to have nothing to do. They can whip out that's a they're going to be sitting around just like make some Game Boy games, and they're going to make it all big, like mobile focus kind of stuff, and you'll see like a ton of WarioWare coming back. That's for sure.
I'm trying to tell if he's being honest or trolling.
I'm being honest.
I think he's being serious.
Okay.
If they get smacked around again, if they like the Wii U, clearly a failure. All right, I didn't even buy it. That's a bad sign. Nintendo releases a gimmicky system and I don't jump on board. That's a bad sign. Okay, that's like me not buying a portable. It just usually doesn't happen. That's how Nintendo hooked me in with this one. They were just like, oh, and you can take it wherever you go. It's kind of like a portable too. I like that idea. I want to support that. I think that's a cool way to go. So I want to see where this goes. I want to see it from the beginning. So that's why we're doing this.
I don't understand though. You don't go anywhere.
Well, man, now because I work from home, but
right. So why do you need a portable?
But I'm not assuming that's going to last forever.
Oh, okay.
Life has been too good lately.
This is going to be too big to fit in your pocket like your GBA micros, so you're not going to be able to take it to work and play in the bathroom.
I wear baggier pants now than I used to.
And I didn't think I was going to be able to fit this in my pocket, but I do, Matt. So I don't know. And this is like the largest phone I've ever owned. It fits. It's not like it looks like I've got a growth, but it fits.
Just saying, that's not something I'm going to want sticking in my pocket, especially with the 2 Joy-Cons sticking off this end. But
yeah, especially with that HD vibration. You don't need that in your pants.
So will you milk cows on the toilet?
Ice cubes in the bathtub, in the bathroom. What's going on in there? Why are you clinking ice cubes?
I'm milking a cow.
Divorce papers initiated.
No,
all right,
milking a cow.
So the state of mobile gaming. Let's actually get to mobile gaming. I thought this would be a good conversation for us because over the last year, so you can stand right here.
Oh yeah, they can hear me still.
Yeah. So Turo's computer died. Why don't you plug it in? That might help. You can unplug it and plug it right next to you, dork.
Oh! That's what I'm so used to. I'm used to it being there. I'll move it back later.
Uh-huh. So,
not a horizontal thinker, that one.
I know. As we have spent the last year, every editor on the panel has taken up something that did not happen the year before, and that is mobile gaming. We've had fits and starts. We've had certain games that we've stuck with for a longer period of times than other ones. But I thought it would be a good idea to talk about how our own views have changed over the last 12 months on mobile gaming. And I know for a fact the person that is most consumed on the panel by mobile gaming is standing behind me. So, Turo, have you been playing Clash longer than a year?
Clash of Clans is going to be a little over 4 years now.
Okay.
And then Clash Royale, they just celebrated their 1 year anniversary.
Wait, so you started Clash of Clans 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, so you can finally upgrade your town hall, right?
Well, it's not Town Hall 10 yet. This game's ridiculous. It makes you feel completion whenever something happens. And I'm one of those players that I would like everything maxed out before I go to the next town hall. And then when that happens, then you upgrade everything and then you go from there. Town Hall 9, where I'm at now, I just need to upgrade my king, my queen in the walls, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. Yet this is going to be the longest stretch before I get to Town Hall 10. And I've already been doing this since I moved here. So
October. Yeah.
So a little over 4 months. Just on 3 things in this game. But I'm having fun making armies, and they're throwing a lot of events in there. Like, they're actually making it. Clash Royale took over. When that game came out, it just grasped people's, because it was just so quick, and it was nice to have something that didn't take so long to I have to wait 7 days before I use this guy, or I have to wait 8 days before I can use this troop. On this one, the more you play, the more cards you get, the more coins you get, the more coins you get, the more chances of you upgrading those cards that you just got, that kind of thing. So it's just rewarding to keep playing.
But I think that the interesting thing for Royale is that it's the only game I've ever played that actually encourages you to stop playing.
Yeah, again, they're fixing that with the clan chests.
Yeah.
So even though, hey, you don't get any more crowns on your crown chest, or you don't have to wait for your free chests, but if you get a bunch of chests, like or a bunch of crowns, just beating people, it adds to your clan chest total.
Okay. So we're getting a little deep in just I want to keep it a higher level. Are you playing other? Have you, in the last year, has your number of mobile games increased?
Here and there, I've dabbled in other games, and then I just stopped because it's not what I was looking for. It's not as rewarding as the games that I am playing now.
Okay, so Kate, I know that you were playing Final Fantasy Record Keeper for a long time, just like I was.
Oh yeah.
Are you playing any mobile games right now?
No.
Okay. And when you picked up Final Fantasy Record Keeper, what were the hooks that got you in there that eventually weren't strong enough to keep you there?
That it was Final Fantasy.
Okay.
That's pretty much
and just the daily grind became too much, or was it the case that
because there was it was all the Final Fantasy trappings, but there was no real story or anything to progress through. So
that's where Clash Royale and Clash of Clans kind of fixed it, because they keep throwing these events out there. I mean, Clash Royale is barely a year old now. Like I said, they just celebrated the 1 year anniversary, but they keep throwing these events.
They had events in Record Keeper too, but they had events in Record Keeper too, but it was just more of the same thing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, the gameplay does not change in Record Keeper at all. Whereas I get what Turtle's saying. In Royale, the gameplay does not change either, but they find ways to get you interested in still playing more of that.
Yeah.
But I think that's the difference, is that Royale actually is like, here are the things for you to do. Okay, you've done them. Good, you're done for the day.
Yeah.
And the events just give you more opportunities to play more.
Yep.
Whereas Final Fantasy Record Keeper never tells you to stop. In fact, it's in your best interest to grind out as much as humanly possible all the time.
You get tired
and
of
you
it.
get tired of it. And so the events are just even more reason to play.
So the events in Clash Royale just are more rewards for keep playing kind of thing.
Right.
And Clash of Clans, they're doing the same thing now. Like they're making certain troops cheaper for a certain amount of time. So whenever you're like, hey, you don't use this troop a lot, they're like, well, this troop is going to be a discount rate at Elixir. So if you're saving Elixir, you don't have to worry about that.
Half these companies have more psychologists on staff than they do actual game developers.
I really think they do. They have something going on.
No. This is like a true fact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They were hiring psychologists to come on staff to try and figure out how to make these things addictive, to get people to keep clicking and keep playing and everything like that. Zynga was like probably the worst offender of this, because that's all they did was like steal games and then get psychologists to trick you and to keep playing them.
Or they did it too.
What's that?
Zynga and King.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they all did it. But especially the big ones.
And I think one of the things I wanted to bring up is one of the games I'm playing right now is Transformers Earth Wars, and it's a Clash of Clans ripoff with Transformers as the troops, and you build a base and defenses and all that type of stuff, and you've got Optimus leading the Autobots and Megatron leading the Decepticons, and you get those guys and then it's kind of random draw. But the drop rates on the game is very expensive if you choose to pay for things. The time to build stuff is really long. And then the drop rates for when you do choose to pay for stuff is very bad. You end up like you'll get 10 crystals that allow you to use the space bridge to summon reinforcements. And out of those 10 crystals, 9 of them will be dupes, if not 10, of people you already have.
Yeah, it's really funny when it comes to these kind of mobile games. Like I've tried a bunch out that I don't even tell you about. But I start playing them, and as soon as something like that pops up, or where I see that it's just like it's artificially extending, or it's like punishing you for not paying or something like that, I stop playing immediately. Like I am so turned off by these things. That's why I kind of like, one of my favorite mobile games right now is the Luminous game. They're really upfront with stuff. Hey, we have new songs.
There was a Luminous mobile game.
Yes, there is. And it's awesome. And they've actually done a lot of great stuff with it. It plays well.
Luminous Puzzle and Music?
I believe so, yeah.
Music?
Yeah.
They have res tracks. So that was a huge selling point for me. So yeah, but they're just upfront about it. They're like, hey, here's a new level pack, $4, and you're like, okay, I want to play res levels, so yes, I will pay $4.
Nice.
Well, I actually think
get my money. They're honest.
I think Super Mario Run is one of the more interesting releases this year. Whether or not you agree with its price point of $10, if you choose to pay it, you're getting everything. There are no microtransactions. There's nothing to buy. The game does have to have an online connection for you to play it. That's the one downside to it. But Miyamoto quite frankly said that when I was developing the game, everyone said, you have to do microtransactions. You have to do that. And he said, I don't like being told what I have to do.
Oh, nice.
I want to give people the option to purchase a game up front and get everything that's in the game, and that's what they get. Oh. If they don't want it, great. If they do want it, great. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. In fact, I think over the next year, we're going to see more games work under that model, because it seems to me like
we're passing the period of microtransactions.
I don't want to say that yet, but it seems like over the last year we've all been involved with games with microtransactions. I don't think those games are going anywhere.
No,
but you're seeing that there are either two camps. There's games with microtransactions that do it very well, or there's games like Transformers Earth Wars that do it very poorly, and their communities start to tend to abandon them over time. And I think the marketplace can only hold so many of those games at one time.
Okay.
It's going to be a case where, you either are doing it right and giving people an incentive to play and pay, or you're doing it wrong and the community just kind of fizzles. Matt, I see you shaking your head vigorously over there. Please chime in with your 2 cents.
Oh, microtransactions aren't going away. The few games that are successful at that make so much frigging money. That's not going away. Even if you have to launch 10 titles to get that one that meets that sweet point, you've made your money. That's it. So
yeah,
microtransactions are not going away.
Ask Kim Kardashian how much she hates microtransactions.
No, I understand completely. Yeah.
It is the bulk of her wealth comes from her app.
I thought you said her ass.
family show.
No,
but yeah, I mean, and that's that's a whole audience of people who are playing it. Millions of people are playing that app. There's microtransactions in it and everything, and she pulls in like 30 million a year just from that or something like that, maybe more.
What I would be super interested to see is what the demographic breakdown of that is, because I have a feeling that that's a lot of kids who don't understand the value of $1. And I'm not saying that I don't ever buy microtransactions. Lord knows I do.
I was just ready to say, dude, let's not.
I do. But I also am not irresponsible with my money, and I know how much I have to spend on microtransactions. And I'm one of those people that I get into that rush, like, I just bought a pack of stuff and I got a good feeling from it, and I've spent it all. Now I want to do it again. But even I get to that point where I'm like, no, I need to stop now. Because
my favorite story of all time was something that didn't get a lot of traction, but Zynga used to have. Remember when Farmville was a thing on Facebook? Everybody was like clicking on that.
Still kind of is with grandmas.
Yeah, but Zynga had a like an exclusive club that they would offer people who were, once they started charging for stuff, they would send them a private invite to join this club, and it involved wiring money in, so they would circumvent everything around Facebook, and it gave them exclusive things that they had access to. And like, this wasn't like some big, huge story or anything like that. We had a company circumventing everything, contacting people directly, and telling them how to wire money directly to them in order to get stuff. And we're not talking about an insignificant amount of money. We're talking about these things started like $500 to $1,000, and they used to basically like target their high roller people who were like already spending a bunch of money.
They're called whales.
Yeah,
those are called whales.
So they were already like targeting those people and everything, and they had an exclusive club for that. And I cannot believe that wasn't like a big story all over like all the news and everything, because it just sounds shady, and it kind of was. But they were getting so many people with that, and I mean, I haven't followed up on it recently. I'm curious to see if stuff like that's still around. It probably is.
Well, and Matt, you did zero mobile gaming before this year, before 2016.
No, that's not true.
What did you play?
Arcade started. I had my old phone, so that's over 2 years ago.
Okay, but you've done more.
And before that, there was random stuff.
But I think you've been.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably been here, and that's really two things. Pokemon Go and
you were playing Pokemon Go. You were playing Clash. You were playing Final Fantasy Record Keeper for a time.
But I wasn't
playing.
I only really ever have two at a time. So by the time I picked up those two, Yeah, Tap Titans and FFRK existed in the same time space, and Pokemon Go and Clash existed in the time space, but there was not really any interlapping over those two sets.
And were you playing this Star Wars game also, or was that Dave?
No, I downloaded it and I played the tutorial and I played one battle and then I put it down and I've never gone back. So
yeah, that's exactly what happened to me.
That's the thing. Like for me, for mobile gaming, my comment, I was writing down thoughts to talk about. Crap, by and large, not going to change. That's exactly what I wrote down on my paper. I took an informal survey of the clan here, and my wife thinks mobile gaming is actually going to see a downtrend in this year in the number of people adopting new games. Excuse me, not necessarily giving up things that they're playing now, but not as willing to jump onto new titles this year. The kids, by and large, seem to think it's going to basically grow linearly is probably the wrong word, but grow in parallel to devices in the wild, right? Mm-hmm. It's basically going to be a zero-sum growth to any extent. I mean, we've seen what, maybe 2 Pokemon Go type events happen in the lifetime of mobile gaming so far. So we're probably not going to see another thing like that for another 5-10 years.
Yeah, because really before that, the biggest thing would have been Candy Crush, maybe.
And Candy Crush and Clash, those were the two highest grossing.
Hardcore. I mean, you don't have people. You don't have the random people that were playing Pokemon Go playing Clash. Clash takes a level of dedication that only certain individuals are going to be willing to give to it.
That's not. I don't think that's necessarily true. Because
Clash of Clans or Clash Royale? Which one are you?
Clash of Clans.
Yeah, but I mean, you talk about that whole I gotta wait 5 days for this. F that just no, because all that is making you want to try to make me buy coins so that I can make my 8-day thing take 2 minutes, and that's BS.
I used to see a parent that would actually continue. There was like one of those like Simpsons tap out games or something like that. Do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those things where you would build up a town or something like that, and you'd have to wait, for things to happen, kind of like a whole Farmville thing. And the kid used to play it on the parent's phone, like at night. And during the day, the parent got addicted to it, just like, making sure things were just like running along so they can build up stuff for the kid like later on. I thought that was kind of funny how people got hooked on it that way.
Yeah, you can say that you don't like that, Matt, and I get it, but there is a lot of social aspect to the game where people know people at work who are playing, and then they get involved with the clan, and then they're helping contribute to the greater cause, etc.
So yes, people guilt other people into playing games all the time. I mean,
well, I'm not saying it's even guilt.
It's an amazing thing.
I don't even think it's necessarily that, as much as there are people who may get involved in the game that way and then continue to play because it's the only game they play. So I don't know. I don't want to. The reasons that you and I don't like it aren't necessarily valid reasons for other people. That's the perspective I want to make sure that we're keeping. That's why I
think it's a horrible predatory business practice. So I think I have an objective reason for not liking it, aside additional dislike of it.
Right. But if people derive, achievement and ability, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing either. If they lose a lot of money, that's another story. But
yeah, I mean, my wife spends a moderate amount on playing Pokemon Go. Mm-hmm. Literally the only mobile game she plays. And if she wants to spend $10 a month or whatever it is to buy incense or whatever the heck it is she buys, I don't even know. Okay, whatever. I get it. I'm not saying it's wrong necessarily. I think certain models are. I understand why they work. I just think they're underhanded.
Yeah, the bacon guy says, in my opinion, Clash Royale is better than Clash of Clans for that reason. It's just slightly less pay to win. And I agree also. That's why I like Clash Royale, is because I don't have to buy cards. I do from time to time because I enjoy the game and I want to support it. And I also want my MacGuffin, whatever the case may be. If they run a thing where it's $5 to get a legendary chest, sure, I'll probably go ahead and pay the $5 to get a legendary chest. Do I need it to win? No. Do I need it for my deck? No, but I am a completist and I want to collect all those cards. So sure, I'll try for it, but I don't have to do that. I don't have to do it to enjoy the core experience of the game.
Right. I think Clash Royale is a good example of one that implements it in a way that I don't find offensive. I still wouldn't drop money on it, but I don't find that methodology or that approach wrong or inappropriate for a company to take on. The game, on the other hand, sounds horrible.
Yeah, no, I went in with the best of intentions there, and I think I dropped money on it 3 times of like $20, $60 total I spent on it. And after the third pull, I started going on the Reddit, and everybody's like, do not spend money on the game any longer because they are screwing people over with these drop rates. And it's true. I mean,
worse than Destiny?
Far worse than Destiny. Like, in Destiny, you got crap at least, and it wasn't the same crap that you got before. It was still crap you didn't need or want, but you got something new. In that, it's just no good. So I was... And
you can't even use duplicates for money towards things. Like, how if you get duplicates in, like, Overwatch loot boxes, you can use the gold to buy the thing that you want that you didn't get in the box.
So there's about 4 different currencies in the game. So if you get a duplicate, you get there's a currency to evolve the character's abilities. You get that currency instead, which is not enough to actually evolve anybody. It is like a segment of what you need to actually evolve somebody something. But
it's like the game punishes you for playing it.
It actually... That is actually how I have adopted it. So now I will open it once every 4 days, and I will start upgrades until I'm max capacity. I will tap everything to get my max resources because I've not been in to check it for a long time. And I don't even do the Battle of the Robots section anymore. And I will just continue to upgrade like this until I have everything at max level that I can upgrade. And then I will move on to the next segment. But, I mean, I opened it today, so I will not open it for another 4 days. And, that's not necessarily the best way to do that, but that's how I choose to play it. And it's a way that makes it fun for me a little bit. But it really is kind of that Clash of Clans kind of situation where I feel like there's no incentive for me to actually play the game. Matt dropped off. He fell off the end of the world in Wisconsin, as he is so apt to do. Let's see if he blames it on Uvu this time. Wait, are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You weren't moving or saying anything.
No, we were just messing with you.
Yeah, okay. It worked. Success. Yes. Dave, what do you think the next year for mobile gaming? Do we see a breakout hit like Pokemon Go again? Do we see just it kind of simmer in the background? What are your thoughts there?
My serious thoughts are I think we're going to see a little bit more maturity. And I think with the, we were talking about the whole Mario Run thing, I think we are going to see some more games that are just going to be outright games, and they might actually have, God forbid, a little bit higher quality. So, it's worth paying a few bucks for them. There was a scary trend where people were just like, everything has to be micropayments because nobody's paying for any games on there. The thing is, if you're rushing to have low quality, of course people aren't going to want to pay for that stuff. It became too much of a disposable commodity. People would play a game, they would download a game for free, play it for a couple days, and that's it. So like people weren't even able to get, ad revenue off the stuff. So I think you're gonna see a little bit more maturity out of it, and hopefully you're gonna actually see some people, putting some serious effort into it and actually charging a little money for games and actually making some money. God forbid they make some money. The old-fashioned way.
Kate, what do you think the next year brings for the state of mobile gaming?
I don't think there will be another Pokemon Go this year, maybe. I think it's just going to, be the same as what it is. I don't think it'll be like there won't be as much exponential growth as there has been. But yeah, like I think it's just going to keep going, but I don't think there's going to be another crazy Pokemon Go this year.
Matt, how about you? You're here twice, so let's see if we can get one of you to answer. Matt? Nope. Even though he's here twice, neither is actually a fully functioning version of him. We'll have to repair Matt's robot circuits later. Or can he just not hear me?
He was moving.
Seriously?
So that would be a he can't hear us type of motion.
Yeah, he can't hear us.
No. So we'll end there on our conversation for the state of mobile gaming. We'll quickly hit the news. There's not a whole lot of it.
I've got a few things.
Yeah, go for it. You start us off, Kate.
Okay. The first thing is something I just saw on my Facebook feed. Overwatch's next event is going to be a Year of the Rooster event for Chinese New Year. And May looks like she's got a really dope costume. All like, traditional Chinese, Xian, Jisam, and Fan, and it looked cool. It was only like a little 11-second trailer, but yeah, Year of the Rooster.
That's kind of awesome because everybody kind of assumed it was going to be Valentine's Day.
They have Valentine's Day voice lines, but I didn't think there was actually going to be an event.
I hope there's an event. My wife is super excited that there might be.
Well, I mean, the Valentine's Day voice lines confirmed Genji Mercy.
Right. Which
all I care about is if Mikonzo or Reaper 76 gets confirmed.
All right then.
And my second thing is that Injustice 2 had a new trailer drop with some
which is amazing.
Yeah, that looked good.
Brainiac looks so dope. There were some screenshots on GameSpot's pre-order website, and he looks good. And I was so happy because Brainiac was like one of the characters. Brainiac and Poison Ivy were like two of the big characters that I really wanted to see, and that they're both in it makes me really happy.
I'm kind of hoping that we get Firestorm this year.
I want to see Starfire in the game too.
I would like to see Starfire in the game as well.
Firestorm would be pretty dope too, though.
I would be super jazzed about that.
And they're also characters that are not appearing in the game but are appearing as skins. Power Girl is going to be a skin for Supergirl, but she's
as it should be.
But she's going to have her own like voice lines and everything. So, and the same with Jon Stewart will be a skin for the Green Lantern, but he'll have his own like voice lines and stuff like that. And Reverse Flash for the Flash.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Okay. And
my third thing was a PC horror game called Town of Light is going to be released on PS4. And I can't wait for it. It was a PC only thing. A lot of really cool horror games are PC only, so I like seeing when they come to the PS4. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that seems kind of crazy too. I love the concept.
An Italian game that's based on a real place in Tuscany that was closed down in the 70s for cruel and unusual treatment. That's all I got.
So I have a few different things. If you are a huge Okay.
Tuesday, Resident Evil 7 drops. And its reviews are actually, it's getting really good reviews.
I'm still really curious about the PSVR.
I've heard bad things about the VR aspect just because of the nausea aspect.
That was in the demo. So I'm hoping they've done something to accommodate that.
But as far as like just people playing it outside of VR, I've heard really good things.
I'm excited that it might be a return to form for the franchise.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not going to be.
It's a reboot of the franchise.
And I get that. It's not the tank controls and all of this stuff, and that's great.
But
I just want to see them make it
horror as opposed to the action.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, Resident Evil 6 was like, ugh. I mean, I still liked it just because of the homoeroticism between Chris and Piers, but the game itself was just creatively bankrupt and had nothing to do with Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
And Resident Evil 5 was fun, but it was still very action-y. So I'm looking forward to this being more horror. And I have it ready to go. It will download on Monday night or whatever on my PS4.
Dave, did you have any news to contribute for tonight? Otherwise, I'll jump into what I've got.
No, other than I pre-ordered a Switch.
Yes.
Well, at least one person here at least has one. Because I'll be curious to see. I'll still be curious to see, like, are you going to get Zelda for it?
Oh, yeah.
So I'll be curious, because, I mean, I think Zelda looks good.
If I wasn't getting Zelda, I wouldn't be getting the thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm curious to see, but I'm curious especially to see what it looks like in hand. Like how small it really is or how delicate it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still have the feeling it's, something's going to get lost or broken or...
Well, so on that front...
thing will get loose and your stuff will fall out of it all the time or something. I don't know.
I have some friends that were at the events that they did in New York, and they actually said that you actually do get satisfaction from sliding the Joy-Cons on, and they do firmly lock in. So it's not like it's going to be something that they easily come off. You have to press a button on the back in order to pull it off. To pop them off. So it's not like it's really flimsy. They said that part of it was good. It fitting into the thing was firm and felt good. Using the Joy-Cons.
Shut up, Dave.
Using the Joy-Cons it really depends on the size of your hands.
See, that's what I was concerned about because, like I said, you guys joked, but it's true that Asian people usually have smaller hands than white people do. Mm-hmm. And I find when I play like a PSP or something, my hands tend to cramp up just because of, like, I have really long fingers. So sometimes I find the position I have to hold my fingers to play comfortably hurts my hands. So, that's something I also would be curious about.
And the bacon guy chimed in at the end of our mobile section saying, I believe mobile gaming will stay the same as last year until 2018, unless Supercell decides to make a new game, which is the company that makes Clash of Clans and Clash Royale, or some other big company like Ninja Kiwi, Bloom's Tower Defense. Somebody releases something brand new, but we'll see. Fire Emblem's Heroes is a collectible character strategy game for iOS and Android. Coming February 2nd. It is a mobile turn-based tactics RPG in which you gather an army of characters from across the Fire Emblem series history. And that sounds pretty sweet to me, sadly. Which means I will probably have to announce it. I will have to pick it up.
Mitchell's very excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm all about tactics games, so that's good. Super Mario Run, while we're on the Nintendo theme here, is coming to Android devices in March. No word exactly when yet, but given that on the iOS version it racked up 40 million downloads in its first 4 days, it'll be interested to see. They've estimated now that it generated about 30 million in revenue as of 2 weeks ago. Now, keep in mind, if that's true, Apple got 10 million of that revenue because they get 1/3 of everything that's sold on the iOS store. But still, if they're making $20 million dollars in that short amount of time, that's not bad.
That'll make up for the future Switch failure.
Yeah, it'll help anyways. Also, still staying on the Nintendo theme, Nintendo Switch pre-orders are sold out at GameStop and other retailers.
That was expected, though.
You know, it was, but what sucked is that, again, the way they did this. They said at 11 p.m. on Thursday night that they were going to open pre-orders on Friday morning. So for those of us that had to go to work, there was no way that we could get one by the time it was out. Anybody watching the event on Friday? I'll save that for the question Q&A. Sorry. So yes, that. Go ahead.
Did you hit Fire Emblem Warriors while I was rebooting my router?
The iOS Android game?
No. That's shoot, I forget what that one's called. Warriors is actually the Fire Emblem that we saw in the Sizzler reel for the Switch presentation.
Did they announce the 2018 launch for it?
2017 fall.
Oh, well,
scheduled for. But it's actually by Team Omega, so yep, it's Dynasty Fire Emblem.
Oh,
or Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yeah, no,
is that
thank
the one
you.
that's like works with Team Ninja and was like Hyrule Warriors or whatever?
Yes, that is exactly correct.
Okay.
So it's the game footage that they showed, which came after the part that we saw on the Switch Sizzler reel, looks exactly like a Dynasty Warriors game.
If it's Omega Force, it will be.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of Team Ninja, Neo has gone gold.
Oh, well, that was my next story. All right, great.
It's going to be a final demo.
Yeah, I think it's out.
It will be available is it out now?
Yeah, I believe it's out.
Yeah.
As of yesterday. So yeah, that's it. And if you're not familiar with Neo, I'm really surprised I'm not buying it or salivating for this game. It is Dark Souls. It's Dark Souls with samurais. Yeah, why am I not interested in this game? I don't know. I'll tell you why, because I downloaded the demos and it was that exact same learning curve that I had in Demon Souls of running up the stairs for like 2.5 hours before the combat system clicked in my head. I played the second demo and I never made it past the second monster. It's never clicked for me, and so I've not had the time to sit down and fully invest into it, but it is something that seems like I would
Once you figure out how to draw your sword, that's 5 hours into the game. And
No. You can draw your sword. It's just that I'm not getting something. There's something in the combat flow that I'm not getting because I just keep getting messed up every single time.
Try roll.
In other news, speaking of injustice, as
whenever I'm right, he shuts up.
There are there have been 2 special editions for the game announced. The first one costs $79.99. Comes with a digital copy of the game, 3 DLC fighters, a premiere skin of Power Girl, which is what we were talking about earlier, and a Defender shader pack allowing you to customize the look of your roster. The Ultimate Edition is $99.99, comes with a physical or digital copy of the game, 9 DLC fighters, 3 premiere skins, so it'll be Supergirl, Green Lantern, and Flash that we were talking about earlier, and then Defender and Destroyer shader packs. So
Darkseid is a pre-order bonus, so he's the Goro of this game.
Yeah, but without them announcing which DLC fighters you're actually paying for, I think that's kind of dumb.
Doesn't matter.
No, I'm gonna buy it.
One of them is 99% chance one of them will be Spawn.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. Actually, there's a patch coming January 24th for Final Fantasy 15 that will get you all kinds of stuff. The Holiday Pack Plus update comes with a Moogle Chocobo Carnival opening, which we were talking about a couple weeks ago, along with the Noctis costume and photo frames added. But then also in there comes a self-photographing feature. So you can now have full camera mode outside of battle in the game. Does this push Dave over the edge?
Doesn't hurt.
EA has announced its press release plans for E3 2017. Their event will occur from June 10th to 12th at the Hollywood Palladium in Los Angeles, which means that once again they will be separate from the actual E3 event, but they will kick off and broadcast their press conference live and online, and theirs starts Saturday. So now with their event starting Saturday, that means that E3 is now basically a week long. In recent years, it's shortened again because a lot of people struggled with the intense kind of nonstop length of the show. But now moving to a Saturday means that everybody's looking at a longer event once again, from press to buyers to everyone across the board. So that's kind of crazy and interesting all at the same time. Path of Exile. If you like Diablo, and you especially Diablo 2, and you like the materia system from Final Fantasy VII, and said, man, I wish there was a game that incorporated those two things together. Well, congratulations. It's called Path of Exile, and it's been on the PC for a couple years now. It's really good, but it is actually heading to Xbox One this year. And so the developer, which is Grinding Gear Games, is bringing it as a free-to-play game with all 5 expansions, and it will be coming. I don't know that they gave a specific date. I'm looking through the article. No, they just said this year. So the game's been out since 2013 on the PC, so it's had a nice long time to mature and be good. But it's something that I tried to play for a while when I was looking for a new game a while back with John, and I fell asleep playing it. So it is just like Diablo. If you like Diablo, there you go. Hey, Matt.
Duh.
You can download them. Their stuffs on Netflix, right?
Most of the time.
Yeah. So Hulu finally allowing us to do the exact same thing.
Ah.
So it looks like Hulu has announced that coming in the next few months, quote unquote, they are going to be making it so that you can download series and movies to your devices.
Wonder how that will work with most of their stuff having such a short shelf life.
I don't know. Hulu is also getting ready to launch a live streaming service, which will cost.
Don't have enough of those yet.
Which will cost less than $40 a month, which I don't know much about, but let's look really quickly. So it's a live TV service which will carry shows from Disney, Fox, and CBS. And they will be the lowest one on the market for that. So that's weird. But okay. Star Trek Discovery has been delayed again. They cast Spock's father, but then they pushed back the release date of the show to round out casting. The filming begins next week in Toronto, but it will premiere later. And of course, I still think it's the worst idea in the history of man to premiere the first episode on free TV and then move it to a pay-only online service. Ubisoft acquires DJ Hero Studio Freestyle Games from Activision, which is weird. I didn't know that they were selling, but yeah, apparently that opens a new studio. They're renaming it Ubisoft Leamington. So yeah, that was the Guitar Hero Live and DJ Hero creator. Do we see Ubisoft making a Assassin's Creed rhythm game in the future, maybe. I'll take silence as no. And that's pretty much what I have on my list at the moment.
So goodbye, Box Boy.
Oh. Box Boy?
No, the conclusion to the Box.
You're breaking up.
You're breaking up, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, am I? Interesting.
Is it Uvu again?
No, it's not Uvu this time. This time it's my laptop. It was my router. I don't know what it is. Life.
In Wisconsin.
I don't really think it's that. I really think it's just a combination of me being too far away from the router and this laptop hating me. But, hey.
So what were you saying about Box something?
It's the third game in the Box Boy trilogy. Goodbye, Box Boy has been announced.
Oh, I see.
And since Dave loves his Box Boy, I figured he was still alive, so he must not have hit that, because it'll have full amiibo sport, 150 stages, 40 challenge levels, and support the Miiverse, which may or may not be a thing for much longer.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Miiverse is closing, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you use the bundled QBBY figure, amiibo figure, whoever that is, you'll change the game into the original Game Boy monochrome color scheme.
Okay, then.
I don't know. It was Box. It was Box Boy, so I figured I threw that up. Did you cover Overwatch having a Chinese New Year event?
Yep.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I have one other one, and that's
Did that stop happening?
Yeah, sorry. I was fumbling to try to turn it off while we were doing this. While I was talking. Blizzard's Jeff Kaplan will be giving the opening keynote on Overwatch at the upcoming DICE Summit Conference. So that'll be interesting. There might be some new news there. We'll see if they break anything with that. But yes, when is that? I want to say it's late February, early March, if I remember right.
Oh, so it's still a ways off.
Yeah, and just as an FYI, I was not making that up earlier when I told you about the matchmaking. Matchmaking and lobbies are handled through the phone app for the Switch. That was an interview with GameSpot. Reggie feels anime, as I always like to call him. Reggie Fils-Aimé said that
anime is called My Body Is Ready. It's a hentai.
That's right. The smartphone app that we are creating that will be part of our online service, we believe is going to be a very compelling part of the overall proposition, because that's how you'll voice chat, that's how you'll do your matchmaking, and create your lobbies. We also think it's a very elegant solution, because if you've taken your Switch on the go, you put yourself on a hotspot, you're looking at to get a quick match of Mario Kart in, to whip out some sort of bulky game or headset is a bit of a challenge.
But you have to go on McDonald's hotspot internet.
Yep. That's
Reggie.
Oh, I think Reggie's just putting the company smile spin on it.
And Wade did not tell me it was Japan only for the new Box Boy game.
I did not see that in the announcement.
All right, that brings us to unless we got any other burning news.
Two things. Did you cover the things that are different between the Wii U and Switch Zelda?
No.
Main differences are resolution, color, sound quality, and the special and master editions are not available for Wii U. Those are the highlights of the differences. It has all the same content. It has all the same story missions. All the stuff in the game is the same. Just your colors, resolution, sound quality, and the special editions aren't available. Oh, and there may be some different on-screen button prompts between the two versions.
Well, and I imagine that you won't be able to use the same waggle controls that you can with the Joy-Con.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That didn't say. We've only ever seen the Joy-Con used in controller configuration, so I don't know if there is any way to go with this.
Yeah, well, it has a wristband on it, so I assume you could probably use it like a.
Oh no, they reported from the Thursday event that you most definitely can. Most people will not play it that way, but they said that you can, and it's pretty intuitive. You can use it like the sword and shield, and actually hack and slash that way if you so desire.
Well,
using a Joy-Con.
Playing arms and they were going like this.
Right.
And milking cows.
So yeah, it'll be interesting for sure.
And one last thing, the Phil Lord and Christopher Miller Spider-Man animated movie was confirmed today to be Miles Morales as the main character, not Peter Parker.
Blasphemy! No, I don't care.
No, that's pretty awesome actually. I think that's a good matchup.
Yeah. Pizza Man's first question for Reader Mail was what if you have big hands for the Joy-Con? That's where I'll point you to Dave. Dave has massive hands. He can palm a basketball with those hands.
What are you talking about? My hands are tiny.
Hold those hands up next to your head.
I'm pretty sure Kate definitely has bigger hands than me because we checked that.
I'm not. Okay. Yeah. Hold it up next to your head. Hold them. No. That is not perspective. Next to your head is perspective.
He does kind of have stubby little fingers.
Say something.
Say something. They're tiny, dude.
But you do have an enormous head, so that's kind of hard.
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure.
I actually do have big hands for a woman, though.
Oh yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah, Kate was able to curl her fingers around mine.
I have really long fingers, though.
Yeah.
But my point is, I think you're going to struggle with the Joy-Con a little bit. That's what
I probably will not. I mean, the Game Boy Micro is one of my favorite systems of all time. Could play that for hours. Still.
Anybody watching the event on Friday? No or yes? I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going into the city. The event on Friday. The 20th.
The
event
inauguration.
Yes.
Oh.
Wow. The event. Yes. How to be vague.
Yes. I know there are a ton of protests planned in San Francisco, so I'm actually still debating whether or not I'm going to go into the office or not. I probably will go into the office, but I'm probably going to get delayed a lot, so we'll see.
If they throw wheelchairs in the train tracks, we know you're stuck there for days.
Yeah, no, there are. I'm not joking. Last time I checked, there were over 45 different events planned, and not all of them are protests. So I'm a little worried about public transportation getting me home, but we'll see.
I'm thinking you got a pretty good use case for work from home that day there.
But I might, but I'm not sure.
I don't even know what time is. If it's during the day, no, because I'll be working.
I believe it is during the day.
I think it is. It usually is. So
I didn't even remember that it was happening. So
yeah, that's because you don't have to live with it.
That is true. I have to hear about it though. You guys won't shut up about it.
I think it'd be interesting because I'd be really surprised if there wasn't a serious assassination attempt.
Please don't. Mike Pence is way worse.
I said attempt. I didn't say succeed. I said attempt.
Just message to all would-be assassins.
I am the best at dodging bullets. Nobody's better at dodging bullets than me.
If you're gonna kill Trump, kill both of them.
Wow. The views expressed on this podcast do not reflect those of Gamersledge.
For the record, I never said anything in this conversation.
Yeah.
So don't go knocking on my door. I don't.
Pizza Man asked, do you guys go to E3 or do you just do a podcast? TBD.
I wish we could.
Well, we can actually.
Well, more like I wish I could.
Oh, understood. Yes. Yeah, we can go. I'm looking at the logistics this year. It's a definite maybe. It costs a lot to go. but we may do something from E3. I am just not.
You definitely couldn't pay me to go.
That's okay.
Yeah, I could not do an E3. There's no way. People, lots of people.
It's not San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. It's not that bad. It's only about 60,000 people. That's not horrible. Actually.
That's too much. That's about 59,999 people too many.
Got it.
Take Dave to Gen Con one year and let him wet his feet.
So I will answer you truthfully, Pizza Man. Even though we have the ability to go, when you look at the cost associated versus staying here and talking over the live streams with all of the editors together and being able to give real-time commentary and have better access than what we would actually get going to the show, yeah, we're not going to see a lot of the closed door stuff, but it almost makes more sense to not go now.
Well, and I mean, you can't even talk about the closed door stuff anyway.
Right. You're under embargo for that stuff. So
there's actually no point to it. And there's also no guarantee to get into all the closed door stuff either.
That is also true. My last question, or last two questions for readers' mail.
The stage shows, like just say you're at Sony's stage show or whatever, your seats are probably going to be crap, and the live feed is actually better.
Right. Well, unless they get that overzealous camera guy like last year. Jesus freaking Christ.
And let's face it, they would probably kick us out for being snarky.
They need the Switch translator and that camera guy to do it.
Oh God, no. No. Two more questions. What do you guys think of Gotham returning? I hate Gotham.
Have I finally corrupted everybody into hating Gotham? Has it finally occurred? Is everybody done with it?
I'm done with it.
I've been done with it for a long time.
Yeah.
I stayed on longer just to see how bad it would actually get.
And how bad did it get, Dave?
Dude, it got worse. It just kept getting worse. It kept doing more and more awful things over and over and
it just makes me angry
again.
about it because it started out so good.
It did. Like, they changed so much, and I was just like, all right, this is a very different take on stuff. And I was just like, wait, they're doing some really cool stuff. And Penguin, oh man, Penguin was great. What happened?
That season 1 finale, though, that really pointed to.
That was when it jumped the shark, or jumped the cat. However you want to.
The cat shark.
Jump the Holly Berry is what it did.
I heard they're actually apparently Harley Quinn's going to be on it. How is that even possible?
It's not.
You saw Frank and Jerome, right? I mean, you've seen that in the promo stuff that's been on Facebook today.
What?
Yeah. Pizza Man, you were talking to a bunch of Batman purists, and we hate Gotham. I cannot think of a show that I actually have more physical darkness for ever.
Gotham is bad enough that I'm not even watching it for the Riddler Penguin stuff. That's bad because
that was gold. And that was gold.
They've managed to take one of my favorite actresses, which is the concubine from Firefly, and make it so that I did not want to watch her because the written choices. Yes, the written choices for Morena Baccarin in that show were stupid.
And she's really good.
She is really good.
If you want to watch her in something good, go watch Deadpool.
No, yeah. I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But it's there's a way to sit there, if you want to sit there and play around with Batman, there's a way to do it really easily. Like that Lego Batman movie. Have you seen the promos and everything for that?
That looks so hilarious.
Or the first part of the first season of Gotham.
Yeah. They were on a really good path. And they just it became we have to just put every character in it, and some of it just doesn't make sense. Some of them just you can't.
I'm just wondering if they're gonna debut Bruce as Batmite at some point.
Oh God. Don't give them ideas.
Oh yeah. That might.
I'm
You
sure
heard it
that
first.
he's gonna come running out in his pajamas one day, and he's gonna be like, Batman of Zurnhar and all that. Oh, yeah, it's just.
And
He's
the
going
last
to become Damian Wayne. He'll become his own son from the.
And then the last question I'm supposed to ask specifically to Matt.
Oh,
how about
God.
them? How about them Packers?
Booyah. Holy crap, that game. That was giving me heart palpitations. That was ridiculous.
And I'm asleep. Sports.
Even you would have been excited by this game. This was ridiculous.
I was very excited about the game.
I expected that to happen because playoffs are a lot different than regular season.
Yeah.
The Cowboys had no playoff experience.
Man, that game, it should have been in the bag, wrapped up, and sent to Atlanta way early on, and just things kept happening, and wow. Yeah. But they survived. They persevered. I had given up. I had actually left. I was listening to it on the radio as I dropped the kids off at Scouts, and I heard the incomplete pass, and I just turned the radio off, turned the car off, walked in the house, and I'm seeing completed pass. I'm like, what happened in that 2 seconds?
How much love did that kicker get in that?
Oh my gosh, he's been having a bit of a rough season. It's kind of sad that a kicker missing 3 kicks in the season means they've been having a rough season. But
because he's not that kind of kicker.
He's not that kind of kicker. No, he's been very reliable. But yeah, he If he were a god, he would have been the strongest god on the planet because all of the support.
Yeah, talking about showing up at the right time. I mean, what was it? How many yards was it? 56 was the first one?
Okay. That's enough. I put the band hammer down on this.
But here's the thing. That is the most dickish icing I have ever seen in my life.
Okay, when we're talking about icing in a football game, it's time to move on.
When you ice the kicker, when you call a timeout right before they're supposed to kick, they actually let the entire kick go off before they called the play dead. And before they blew the whistle, they were waving their arms around, but a whistle did not go off until after the ball had been hiked.
Yeah.
You're acting as if Mark knows what you're talking about.
He does. He just likes to play dumb.
I totally know, but I don't care.
He just doesn't care.
That's the difference.
But we can overwhelm him. So
sometimes. This is, of course, the part of the show where we thank all the people that help make every podcast happen besides our wonderful panel. As always, thank you to Naomi, to John, to Regina, to Bobby, and to Ian for supporting us on Patreon, just like you can by heading over to patreon.com/gamersledge, where for just $1 a month, you can get your name on every show. And at the $5 a month level, you get your name actually publicly thanked, just like we did right now here on our weekly podcast. Also, make sure that you do check out our website, gamersledge.com, our facebook.com/gamersledge, Twitch channel, twitch.tv/gamersledge, which is where you're probably watching this right now, or on YouTube, our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/gamersledge.com, all spelled out because Gamersledge was already taken. And that's going to bring us then to final thoughts. So for final thoughts, let's start with you, Kate. Final thoughts for this week.
Dave, after the show, I'm going to put a link in the thing so you can see the bad translator.
Nice.
Oh, the bad translator is.
Yeah, I forgot to look it up afterward. I heard people talking about it.
Games. Yeah. Also, I can't wait for Monday night Resident Evil 7. Woo!
Oh, yeah, that hits already. Wow.
Dave, final thoughts.
I'm getting a Switch. I don't care.
We know this.
You didn't snap your fingers, man.
Yeah, you gotta snap.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not doing it. No. I'm just gonna get it. I'm gonna play some games on it. That's what's going on.
You realize that when you start it up, every time you start it up, the Switch is gonna go.
You just made an error in your statement. You're gonna get it and play game on it, not games.
No. There was another one. It was a brawler.
Arms?
That's not out at launch.
No,
that is not a launch game.
No, all you people who know nothing, shut up.
Street Fighter 2?
No. There was a $20 brawler. Oh God, what was it called?
Streets of Kind of Angry?
No, it's
I think you're making things up.
No, I'm not.
In this case, he's probably not. Since he probably put money down for it, he's probably right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you were looking at something with a placeholder date, my friend.
Nah.
Because Arms is not coming. Arms is coming in March, and I'm looking to see what. Because the only confirmed day and date launch title is Zelda and 1-2 Switch. That's it. Oh, no, I take that back. Just Dance 2017 is also coming out on March 3rd.
That's right.
And Skylanders Imaginators.
Oh, no, it wasn't a launch game. They lied.
Yeah. Super Bomberman R is...
It's called Has Been Heroes. That's the one.
Has Been Heroes. Oh, yeah, that's like March.
Yeah.
Sometime. Yeah.
And then I also pre-ordered Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Which is the only one worth pre-ordering, I might add. That is fantastic to bring that to the U.S.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I am a huge, well, I mean, obviously Tetris fan, but actually a huge Puyo Puyo fan from way back. So, like, I used to import all the Puyo Puyo games for, like, the Game Boy and stuff.
Pizza Man quickly asked, Mark, are you saying that Smallville is better than Gotham? By a million years.
God, yeah.
Smallville was not... it wasn't great, but it wasn't
Smallville, especially early Smallville, was extremely watchable.
Yeah.
Like, I know it got a little weird toward the end, but...
It got to the point where it was an every other season kind of thing. One season would be good, the next season would be horrible, and the next season would be good, the next season
I think that's a fair statement. I think that's a very fair statement. But, yeah.
I will say I'm really looking forward to Powerless.
Me too.
That... It was funny. Like, at first, like, I started seeing the concept of it. I'm like, oh, great. They're just ripping off Damage Control. This is going to be so stupid. Oh, it's Alan Tudyk. Never mind.
So, Dave, did you get the Master Edition of Legend of Zelda? Or did you just order the regular?
I got the middle one. There was 3 of them.
There's 3 of them. You know that the Master, the top one, actually comes with a carrying case for the Switch tablet that's got the design of the little funky thing that Link is carrying around in the game.
Yeah, but I opted for a carrying case that actually just has a Triforce on it.
Oh, that's kind of sad. I'm sorry.
Why is that sad?
Actually, it's in the other edition too. I didn't notice it. It's in the 80.
Oh, it is in the other one?
Yeah, it's in the 80.
Yeah, I got the mid one. The high up one was only available online. They wouldn't let you pre-order it in the store, which is hilarious.
Actually, it looks like the only thing that's different between the 2 versions is the Master Sword
statue.
Desk weight. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think everything else is in the other one, which, I'm fine with.
Yeah. Continue.
That brings you to final thoughts, Matt.
Oh, my final thoughts. My final thoughts are I need to really play more Final Fantasy 15 because at this rate, I'm not going to be done with it till like December of 2018.
I've resigned myself to that already at this point.
Yeah, you generally don't hold on to a game that long though, so you're going to get bored and move on and never finish it. That's the problem. At some point, you just need to go. Otherwise, you're going to Skyrim this thing, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to just shake my head and look disapprovingly at you.
I don't think so. There are certain games that I will not trade in, and this one I'm having enough fun with.
That woman's seriously going to be the Secretary of Education?
Let's not. Yeah, let's not talk about that right now.
No, that one can't happen. That's the one that can't happen.
Let's just. Yeah, I just am.
Far.
Anyways, my final thought is actually your Final Fantasy 15 conversation derailed me. I'm trying to remember what my final thought was now. I'm excited for Berserk. I keep forgetting that game is coming, and like it is coming. One, right? It's based on the Dynasty Warriors engine, but then they upgraded to make it super gory and bloody.
Oh man, I thought you were talking about like Evil Otto and stuff. No, no. We're going back, dude.
Evil Otto.
Oh.
I want to make sure we're not talking about the same thing.
No, we're not talking about the same thing. Mine's way better.
Fast Evil Auto. Video game Urban Legends. What? Okay. Yeah, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the anime that is being turned into a video game, and it looks amazing. It's coming out for the Vita and the PS4. So I'm hoping it's cross-buy, but we'll see. Probably not. But we'll see. So that's something that I am excited for. That's coming up in the short term. Also, South Park, The Fractured But Whole. I'm very much looking forward to that, and that's just around the corner as well. And there's still a couple other things coming out this next month that I'm. Robot. Okay, that brings us to our final.
That was from the game. That's from the game Berserk, like way back in the day. There was like
that Berserk. Oh, I'm totally with you now. Yeah, I'm totally with you. Weirdo. Yes. But yeah, that brings us to our final piece of wisdom to leave you at the end of the show with. This is actually a football joke, since we were talking about this, and it's actually about. If you recall back to the Chiefs. Super Bowl match a long time ago with Joe Montana. Montana got wrecked during the game. He just kept getting tackled over and over again. But then the whole game came down to a kick, and the kicker missed the kick, and he got a lot of flack for it. But it turned out that he actually resurfaced in the news this week because he tried to kill himself, but it was a failed attempt because he couldn't kick the chair out from underneath him.
Wow.
That was a lot of work and pretty dark.
Until next week, game on.
Depression on.
Dave's not even saying anything.
He's giving up on you, man.
I don't know how to feel about that one.
And we're clear. Except on the behind the scenes chat. You're still with us. You get to see the fallout from my joke in real time.
It's usually pretty bad.
No, like this one, it's like normally I just get pissed, but as someone who's attempted suicide, I don't know how I feel about that joke.
It was actually, I heard it on a radio station. I thought it was. It's not true, obviously. So.
We hope.
No, it's. All right, I'm stopping the broadcast of the behind the scenes.